Well, good afternoon.
여러분
Can you?
안녕하십니까?
Yeah, okay. So, this is my honor to be speaking to all of you virtually, though. My name is Anshul Sonak.
이렇게
I
발표를 하게
am
돼서
in Intel
영광입니다.
Singapore,
저는
and I'm
안슐
very
소낙
happy to share with you Intel's
이고요.
model on addressing global AI readiness.
인텔이 가지고 있는 글로벌
We
AI
all
레디니스
heard from all the
이야기하고
speakers that
싶고요.
AI as a technology or as a field of study is
AI를
moving very
기술에서
fast,
배우고
right?
있죠.
And
우리는
many people describe AI in a different
빠르게
ways.
발전하고 있습니다.
So
그리고 많은
for
사람들이 AI를
everybody in the society to
이용을 하고
benefit, we have
있습니다.
to really demystify AI or
그들이 AI
democratize AI
혜택을
in
받을
a very
수가
simple
있습니다.
ways so that everybody can get benefit of it. Now that is exactly closer to Intel's
AI를 통해서 혜택을
purpose.
누릴 수가 있어야 합니다.
Intel's purpose is
그래서
to really
인텔이
create
달성하고자 하는 것이 그것입니다.
world-changing technologies so that we can enrich
그래서
everybody's
지금
life.
AI 기술이 빠르게 변화하고 있는 가운데
So that is why we want to really bring AI in a very simple way for everyone, and by addressing AI skills,
AI를 모두를
by preparing
위해서
AI.
이해하기 쉽게
Now, the
간단하게
way we look at
설명하고
AI
있습니다.
is a bit differently, more inclusively, and we want to walk the talk. We do not just want to work with one
AI를 좀 더
institution, two
포용성
institution,
있게
and 100 students. We are already working in Korea with 15
저희는
plus
전 세계
schools, vocational schools, high
30개
schools,
이상의 국가에 있는
5,000
학생들에게
students, hundreds of
프로그램을
faculties.
있습니다.
So I want to
한국의
give you
경우에도
some
직업고등학교,
blueprint of our
과학고등학교, 그리고
success,
6개
why we are
고등학교
so successful in
대상으로
Korea, and how we
현재
are doing it.
200세대를 위한 AI 프로그램을 진행하고
Because
있고
the future of work
한국에서
is already
특히
here. It's no
굉장히
more future,
성공적으로 진행을 했습니다.
especially with COVID, right? So the way things are changing very fast,
코로나19
we have to
때문에
really see how
요즘
AI
많은
affect
변화가
every
발생하는
job.
것을 아실 텐데요.
And when I say every job, I mean the tasks
AI
are changing, right?
분야도
So
마찬가지고
either
코로나19
tasks require
이후에
hand,
모든
manual task,
일들이
for
변화하고 있습니다.
example, agriculture. So you can imagine, like in Japan,
예를 들면
90% of
농업
the
분야를
crop
생각해보면
spraying is done
일본의
by
경우에
AI-driven spray. So the job which require hand, agriculture, right?
농작물에
Manual
우리가 물을
jobs,
줄 때
they are changing.
농작 경작을 할
Similarly,
때 한 전체의
jobs which
19%
require
정도는 AI
cognition, right?
프로그램을
The
활용하고
mind,
있다고 합니다.
they are also changing. So for example, journalist job, if you think about it, right? Bloomberg, 1/3 of the AI
뿐만이 아니라
content
일반적인
is
일자리를 하는
generated by AI
사람들이요.
today.
블룸버그의
So
경우에도 그
even the
인력의
cognition has
3분의
to
1을
change,
AI로
right?
대체할 수 있다는 얘기가
Human
있죠.
resource, for
이렇게
example,
빠른 변화가 일어나고 있습니다.
72% of job application are not even seen
일본도
by humans.
마찬가지죠.
AI robots or AI
예를
chatbots
들면은
actually scan the CV,
AI
right? And
로봇이나
then
AI
decide
챗봇이
which
사람에게
CV to
대체하고 있는
select
경우도
or
굉장히
shortlist.
많습니다.
So that's an example of cognitive jobs, cognitive tasks getting changed.
이렇게
The
인지적인
third
능력이 필요한
is
업무에
affective,
있어서도 많은
something
변화가
which
있다는
touches
것을
our
알 수
heart,
있습니다.
right? Like for the grandmom, robot-driven social robot, care jobs, care
헬의
robots,
경우에는
right?
사회적인
Social robots.
로봇이라던가 아니면
There are
돌보는
jobs which are like
노동을 하는
nursing. They are also
로봇들도 분야를
changing.
하고 있습니다.
So it is no more about this color versus that color
많은
job.
변화가
Every
있는데요.
job will change. We have to think about this new
어떤 직업
human-machine
분야에
partnership,
상관없이
which
그러니까
touches
노동 지각적인
manual, so
분야
hand,
아니면 지식 지각적인
cognitive
분야
tasks, so
상관없이
mind,
모든
and
일과
also
업무가
affective tasks,
변화하고
so
있다는
heart,
것입니다.
right? So we have to think from a very ethnography, very human-centric, responsible AI approach, which is a
중요한
whole new
것은 이렇게 빠른
approach.
변화가 일어나는
We have to
가운데
think.
AI의 사람
If we have to be
중심적인,
really
인간
on top
중심적인
of
프로그램가 필요하다는 겁니다.
AI-driven revolution which we are seeing. Otherwise, the disruption will continue.
AI를 통해서 굉장한
We
혁명과
are
혁신이
talking a
일어나고
lot about
있습니다.
skill
AI를
crisis and
통해서
skill
많은
gap.
일자리와
And
또 우리
as
미래의
as
업무가
some of the
와해되고
speakers
있습니다.
said very
통계
rightly,
자료를 한번
there
보시겠습니다.
are all kinds of biases: people bias, data bias, model bias, inequality,
최근에
gender
우리가
inequality.
AI를 통해서
So on
데이터를
top of skill gap, there's a shorter talent pool and there is a bias, right? And that adds to the problem, right? So bias and the talent pool adds to the problem. And then there are a lot of issues around ethics and transparency and fairness and so on and so forth, right? So we need to really understand the disruption better, right? Before deciding how do we really deal with AI in a much more proactive, human-centric way, right? And that is why, as a responsible corporation, as a leader who creates foundational technologies, we want to make sure that AI gets demystified and we democratize AI so that everybody benefits from AI, right? And that's what our attempt here is when we look at AI and education. Some of the new jobs which will come in because of this human-centric AI approach are going to be more human-friendly if we really think about it and if we really bring it correctly. Uh, the AI ethnographic research is again directing us to those human skills which can lead in any industry, skills which require trainer or explainer or sustainer, those kind of a job skills. And then there are a lot of new jobs which are coming out. But the point is, this require more human skill, a combination of manual task, cognitive task, affective task. We have to really understand this new landscape of human-centric, responsible AI and build a right human-machine partnership. That is our approach here. And that is why when Intel has taken an endeavor in demystifying and democratizing AI, we have a bold goal. We have a program which is in Korea running very well, thanks to COFAC and KRIS and Ministry of Education and Ministry of IT support. It's called Intel AI for Youth. The goal here is to empower non-techie, broader workforce, youth on AI tech skill and the social skill in a very inclusive way. Our broader 2030 corporate responsibility goal is to build 30 government partnerships, 30,000 institutions with AI access through these partnerships, and 30 million people to be empowered with AI skills on the current and future job. And I'm very happy to share 11 countries, and just in Korea, more than 5,000 people have already benefited from this program. Make technology, emerging technology like AI, fully inclusive, democratize it, and expand digital readiness for the right human-machine partnership. So that's our approach. The program is meant to do three things. First, create deep understanding. So basically skill set and mindset, which is very important. Deep understanding require good skills and good mindset around AI. Then the second, access to technology, access to toolset, open technologies, right? So this is where democratizing access so that everybody gets benefit comes in. And the third and most important, impact, outcome. Uh, Not just learn AI, but do something meaningful for social impact or industrial impact, right? Create solutions for evidence of achievement through schools, through high schools, through vocational schools. And I will give you some Korea examples how we are doing this. That's the program objective we have. And again, very proud of public-private partnerships we have in Korea for these programs. Korea government, especially our experts from schools and KRIS and COFAC and some of the vocational schools in Busan and Seoul, they participated in the design of the program when we designed this. Very hands-on, modular, experiential. We provide these skill sets already validated by the experts in Korea with open technologies, and then it's delivered through the coaches, human-centric, high-tech, high-touch delivery. This AI as a complex topic and for a very inclusive audience, if you just expect everybody to go and learn on its own, it's not going to be easy. So we want to make the transition very seamless, very smooth. So that's why we train your teachers, your coaches to really understand AI, how to integrate it in day-to-day teaching and learning in your pedagogy so that you can teach AI in your software semesters, open semester, or you can use AI to teach math, science, social science, any of the subject. So good quality implementation. To show the demonstrated outcomes. Eventually it boiled down to how do you really bring that skill to life, right? For learning to work, to really bridge this bigger employability gap, which everybody is talking about. So I will give you a kind of example of the outcomes. We talk about technology skill related outcomes and social skill related outcome. A technology skill related outcome will have through the program flow, you inspire people through the program content. So this is 176 hour of content which we give to schools to use, and we train them and we train the teachers and provide support so that they get this outcome of technology skill and social skill. So technology skill related outcomes can be around programming and coding, computer vision, natural language processing, statistical data skills around machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, all at a high school level. The social skill related outcomes around basic understanding and awareness of AI, ethics, inclusion, bias, privacy, leadership, social perceptiveness, communication, documentation, explaining. Explainability is a big issue in AI. So explaining AI decisions, right? AI audits, so that checks and balance creation. That's what the curriculum is designed to be given, right? And then at the last stage, as you can see, empower stage, you build your own social impact projects or your industrial impact solutions. So walk the talk. We are not just talking about AI. We actually handhold you to build AI solutions to solve your local problem. That is very important. What can you do with AI? That is very key. So I will give you one example, just my favorite example of Korea. Last year, I was in Korea, and these students from Busan Computer High School showed this example. A problem statement: cabbage price fluctuation hurt kimchi prices. And kimchi is a staple diet. So you want to buy cabbage at a good price so that you can have kimchi at a lower cost. Very important problem. So these students in Busan Computer High School studied government open data of 7 years, 3,000 data point, temperature, precipitation, past cabbage prices. They took the data from multiple government data sources, used trained algorithm around machine learning with Python TensorFlow, come up with their own modification, and make the school level website to predict cabbage prices for kimchi. So imagine how cool it is to tell your own mother to buy cabbage on so and so time, because that day the prices of cabbage will be cheaper. So this is what 16-year-old, two boys and one girl made it in Busan Computer High School. So think about it, a 16-year-old set of two boys and one girl in Busan Computer High School actually making an algorithm to predict cabbage prices for kimchi preparation. That is, according to us, a very human-centric usage of AI technology. And that is exactly what we want to make sure next generation of workforce really do it, not just in Korea, but around the world. So this is the program we are driving in Korea with thanks to COFAC and KRIS and Ministry of Education and Ministry of IT. And we have expanded this program now in 11 other countries across vocational schools, community colleges, K-12 schools, and different countries are using it in a different ways. And I will be very happy to share with you any model which you are interested in learning, how other countries are building AI readiness, AI capability, right? To really action it in a very purposeful way, right? And not just talk about AI and AI skills and jobs, but really prepare AI capabilities with everybody in a very inclusive way, in a very purposeful way. So that is the scale model. That is a public-private partnership model. So this is what we are very honored to have a partnership with KRIS and COFAC and Ministry of Education and Ministry of IT in Korea to really build this kind of a partnership. You were one of the first country, actually, Korea was one of the first country in 2017 to come and ask us, how can we build AI education models, right? And I mean, we are very, very impressed with the educator participation. So it's not just top down, but bottoms up. The real community leaders, the educators, the teachers, they came forward, they built the programs, they built a whole design, training, content, delivery, hybrid delivery, remote delivery, hand-holding, project-based approaches all around AI for AI education and AI in education. So both. So I'm very happy that Korea was one of the first country who started doing it. And my dream is to see that all your software model schools, and I think there are 3,000 plus model schools, right? All of your school do programs like this and take advantage of it. So I would just end with only one request or call to action to all the educators who are listening. Please go and see some of the work which Korean schools are doing. Maybe in Korean, Busan vocational school or Busan high school, or we can connect you to more schools. Go and see how your own educators are implementing it, so that it's not just me talking, you actually see how your own students, how your own teachers are actually implementing it. Thank you so much. Hamsamida.